Home sweet home. It's Monday morning, the builders are here working and I'm continuing on with the clears. So we'll cut out this, which is the port one. Well, I always seem to have a few teething problems when I start off, so we'll get that sorted. I had two problems. One, I forgot to thread it from left to right. Then we had adjust the tension. So top one, first go, not enough tension. Second one, not quite enough. Bottom one, tension seems good. So just to remind myself, through there, down, up, down, obviously around, and we're set on about 8.5. Ready for the first brush with the enemy. Thread keeps breaking, not sure why, getting frustrated. I have to go to work anyway. It's Wednesday afternoon, the back gate is open, so I presume the slip is blocked. Looks like they're taking the rig out of this cat. Slip's not currently blocked, but I imagine there's a crane coming in. So I'm popping in just to check to make sure we've had no troubles from the storm we had last week. And look, the boat that was here is gone, so we can get back to our boat again. A small number of things were blown off down here, but nothing major. Cover still in place on the starboard side and on the port side. House bank's a bit low because we had no sun for most of last week. Oh, Jerry's up the mast, putting a strop on. Right, let's have another go here. I'm going to actually replace the small wheel with the big one. Gears the machine down, gives it more inertia. So to remove the, or loosen the set screw here, undo this. Washer. Remove the old wheel. Remove the drive belt, pop on the bigger, heavier wheel, do up its grub screw, big wheel and the bigger belt. Just to remind me how to thread it, from the big bobbin up through the top of the stand, a zigzag through this post, through the rat tail, down, up, or down and around and down, through the tensioner, through the arm, through the hole, and through the needle from left to right. And the needle's got a big groove on the left. A problem with the big wheel is that it's got grub screws holding it on. So when you wind the bobbin, the machine still is functioning. the bobbin loads just like I remember on a domestic machine. A little bit of fiddle getting your hand in, but you pick up the stitch the usual way. And certainly this machine's been working so much better than the previous one I had. And the big wheel is a great idea. You can put a handle on it and run it manually. This is basically a sailrite machine that hasn't been titivated by a sailrite. I've just done another check of tension. Looks alright. That's the one closest to the bottom. Oh, we finally have success. So we kept having the thread breaking on the top, but changed the needle and we are fine. Well, progress is being made. Hopefully everything's been sewn on the right bit. This is a bit of a compound corner here, which goes in behind the controls for the engines. We're making progress. I need more Velcro the top edge, but this is the back edge, so we'll put some webbing around that. Oh, it's even vaguely straight. It's not common for me. I actually found some Velcro hooks, so we'll be putting it on with basting tape, then sewing. Right, first row of stitching for the Velcro. We're winning. Next to mark where the zip's going to go. So I've laid the new one on the old one and I'll just mark it. I've reused these zips twice before and they've finally given up. I have bought some new continuous zip. So new zip and sliders, or whatever they're called. Once again, we'll try basting tape. Outside curve is stuck down, so we'll sew around that and then do our best on the inside. Right, that's the outside edge done. To run around the inside now. What's hard in these inside corners is you need to make sure that we sort of bunch the zipper up, otherwise you'll end up pushing a whole lot in front of you and really distorting it. The builders have left, and as you can see we've made good progress here. They're going to call this part stage 2 because there's a beam underneath that's a problem. They've refastened the old planking that was in good repair. Not too bad in the corner. Sliders installed. Trying to do it one-handed. Look. It's getting dark. I think that's it for the day. There is a slight difference in transparency between the old clears and the new one. Oh, we get to go on the main gate. We have a new wee bilge keeler here. Great things happening over by the slipway. I think this will be the mast. I've come to do a measure up about the total length of clears needed along the sides. I think I'll just remake the one in the corner. A bit easier than the acrylic solid idea. Right, so it's 3 metres from the main bulkhead. And I'll measure from the there to the main bulkhead on the starboard side. So it's 1,350 to the Velcro on here, so that'll be helpful. Oh, I better take this worn out clear home if I'm going to remake it. Well, this is the Velcro that joins this to the next one aft. So this one is loops. Now, it's very hard holding the camera in one hand and feeding with the other, but let's see how we go. Well, I've had squally, almost westerly really, and we've now got rain coming in. Well, that's the sewing done. We need to cut the vinyl for the window on the other side of the zip. So that's got it opened. So these are the enclosures or stops. Previously I just used the hot knife and just melted all this together. Done. So this one is all finished. Now for the port one. Looks like Chantal is heading down harbour. We've decided to turn the bit where the pots were into real deck now. I have one of the first mates helping me, so we're putting the Velcro on the top edge. This is the port clear. So we are progressing. And once again we'll mark where the windows are. I tack basting tape for the zip. Okay, zip attached with basting tape. Well, it really is a pretty windy day with lots of squalls coming through. Now this bit's almost done. Now back to work, so we need to sew the inside edge of the zip down. We're getting there. Around the corner. And carrying on around the corner. Now to put the sliders in. The way I do it is just very slightly undo the bit of the zip. The slider in and then pushing it up the zip, or down the zip actually, it should unzip. Oh, that's always the tricky bit. The next one is easier. Obviously you thread it on to where the zip is open and it will close it back up. There we go. If you take the first few teeth off here, focus, it's a lot easier to get the first one in. And the end stop. Well, there's the port forward one. Here's the port stern one that we need to make. So we'll check the overall length, add a little bit of length to it, and start on that one. No zip though, so that's a bit quicker. I don't have a spare piece long enough. I'll get some more tomorrow. So we need another 1.7 length, we'll do that. see if this fits. Oh, it's in place. Just a little bit of adjustment. We'll take this cover off. Oh look, I can see Grandad now. The port forward one's on. Patting it up. And my idea is to use this aluminium angle and mount the clear onto it, which will reduce the amount of water getting onto the bench. The only problem is that where the blue line is where the Jenica sheet comes in, so we'll need to cut down the angle for a notch there. We have a hole for the Jenica Code 0 sheet. So this is one for the starboard side. I'm just going to belt the ends of the zips together. It's quite nice being able to see out again. I'll put the sealant around the edge of the sink. Good old 291. Well, that's done. I'll clean up what I think is butyl that's been flogged around by the covers. The bridge is up. A bit of trimming before we start sewing. Big T-square makes a good straight edge. I couldn't get any 1mm or 0.75mm vinyl, so this is 0.5mm, but it does mean it cuts really easily. We'll just check the tension as the vinyl's a different thickness. Yeah, looks fine to me. Well, first bit. Now we're putting the edging on the bottom. This is this aft end rolled up. It's done. It's arrived first, so he's on gate duty. Well, let's put this stern clear on the port side. Well, it fits. We just need to attach the bottom edge. We use these snaps for that. So, put that through. Now this goes on the other side. And we've got a mandrel to set it. Right, so the studs, I suppose, pop rooted on and drive the mandrel up to knock the mild steel head out so it doesn't rust. So you hammer it in from this side. We can see Grandad through the side covers, side screens. Done the same thing on this the starboard existing. Now that goes here with a hand attached. Now some beautiful sealant, the white runnier sticky stuff. Well, that looks better.